Morning. Welcome to the Oxford School of Tai Chi and Qigong's Sunday workshop. The topic of this workshop is going to be on flow. There's a really lovely saying in Chinese medicine that says something like, disease will not take hold where the living sap flows. And we all have the feeling of flow being a good thing. We always say things like go with the flow. And this brings up things of ease and naturalness. That is the principle of Tai Chi and Qigong, to be natural. Flow is an inherent quality of living beings. And so what we try to do in Qigong and Tai Chi is unblock or take away the obstructions that prevent our kind of natural life force or flow happening. So that's what we're going to be working on today for this half hour. So in order for flow to be optimal, we need to be relaxed and open. So this is our first principle, relaxation and open. So I'm going to take you through the 5 points. I looked at the bookings and I can see most people here have done Tai Chi before, so you would have probably heard these principles many times before. But that's the great thing about Tai Chi. So we have 5 points of focus for our posture. That's head up, weight down, dantian, or this middle area relaxed. Joints open, so all of the joints of the body open, and unimpeded breathing. So just tuning into your Taiji body, Qigong body. I'm just going to check one of the comments and we'll be back. Lovely, thank you. You too. So this is our sort of foundation, our starting point for practice of these 5 embodiment principles, if you like. We connect the intention for the head towards heaven, so it's sort of opening to the spiritual, if you like. We connect to the earth, sort of connecting to the physical. The dantian in the middle, we relax. The joints are open, and an image I like to use for kind of getting the feeling of openness in the joints is as if you drop an oil drop into your dantian, this area here, and it as if it's dropped on water, it just spreads and relaxes as it goes, all of the joints of the body. Because joints are one of the places where we block flow, or we can block flow. And then lastly, the breathing. Another place that we hold against life force, or we sort of hold our breath, or we don't breathe optimally. So you want to try and make sure that the system is as open as possible for breathing. So the flow of air in and out of the body is unimpeded. So we're going to take some time to do some exercises to open up the flow in the legs to start, and then in the spine. So take your feet to double shoulder width and keep in mind all the time your 5 principles. You're then going to slowly start to move the weight from foot to foot, like the weight is a liquid moving from one foot to another. So there's like a feeling of flow, liquid like lava. A nice warm water. And you don't want to spill the water. So for example, if I do something like this and I let the hip sort of escape to the side, I'm now spilling the water. So keep the hips nice and even and keep these principles in place. So head up, weight down, dantian relaxed, joints open, and breathing. See if you can really open the spine. So you're tuning into this separation of heaven and earth, the head going up, the tailbone relaxing down, you're lengthening through the spine. And really pay attention to the order in the body. So in order for flow to be optimal, we need to have open, relaxed system and good structure. So if I allow the structure to become disordered, I lose optimal flow. So it's a bit like having leaky pipes. You don't want leaky pipes. You want the pipes nice and enclosed and a good system of flow, not furred up, so that the flow can go everywhere. So relax through hips, knees, ankles. So you allow the weight to descend through the legs. And as you do this, you might find that your legs start to work a little bit harder. This is good. This is good for the flow of blood around the body. So we're enabling the return of blood back to the heart. So we're assisting in the circulatory system, the flow of blood around the body, vital to health. So we're going to include the arms in this movement. As you move to the right, you're going to allow your right arm to flow up. As you move to the left, your left arm's going to flow up. And you really want to kind of try not to block this flow. So flow is inherent to all living things. So what does it mean to move out of the way of the natural intrinsic flow? So you can adjust your posture, make sure you're comfortable. So you're keeping your hips, knees, ankles aligned, relaxed. And in the same way that we followed something through the legs moving, you can now feel as if you're moving something through the arms. So as if the arms were one continuous system. So as one arm goes up, the other one goes down, and they're in relationship with each other. See if you can really relax the arms. Relaxation, as I said, eases flow or optimizes flow. If you tense in your shoulders, elbows or wrists, you'll inhibit the natural flow. So you want to feel a little bit like a piece of seaweed following the currents. You're buoyed up by the water around you. And you can go at your own pace. Everybody has their own natural flow. A lot of Qigong, Taiji, you're trying to find your flow, your natural manifestation. And obviously it's different at different times. So Taiji, Qigong, is all about getting in touch with the natural. And then paying attention, arms and legs. And then start to make the movement a little bit smaller. Moving slightly less weight. Until you come to almost no movement at all. Turn the arms to face the body, relax. And try to feel the movement continuing in the legs. You can even do little movements if you like little micro movements. See if you can kind of feel the movement of the legs carrying on. And then slowly lowering the arms down. Well done. Bring your feet in, check your 5 points again. See if you can feel any change in the body, any changes in flow, in the internal system. So we're going to do a couple of exercises now to help with the flow up and down the spine. So you're going to have your feet in bow and arrow, what's called bow and arrow. I think a lot of you already know this already, but just for completeness, we'll talk through how to get to bow and arrow. You imagine that your feet are on a railway track line, narrow gauge railway, 1 foot on each rail. 1 foot you take 45 or 30 to 45 degrees out into the diagonal. You look where the other foot is pointing and you slide it, you step over your own foot and keep it on that rail. This is bow and arrow. I'm just going to move back so I'm still in shot. And then I want you to do the same thing, moving the weight from foot to foot, keeping the hips tidy. So don't let the hips spill the water like this. This is incorrect. The feeling is of the weight going down and down. Feeling of connection. Feel the continuity of flow of weight from foot to foot. Check your 5 points. Head is up, weight is down, dantian is relaxed, joints all open. And you're breathing. You're not inhibiting the flow of breath, letting the breath come and go naturally. And you're going to start to circle the arms. As you go forward, the hands go forward. You're then going to lift the dantian, the arms go up. Dantian goes back, arms come back. Dantian goes down, arms come down. So it's forward, up, back, down. You're following the dantian, circling. I'm just going to turn sideways so you can see that from the side. And you're concentrating on relaxing now the front of the body. So as the hands come down, you relax and soften. I'll emphasize it a little bit more. A little bit like you're ironing the front of the body, relaxing the front of the body as the arms come down. So you're really encouraging flow down the front of the body. Notice if there's anywhere that you feel the flow is less easy, where in the spine you feel that you hold against flow, or in the front of the body. So really using the movement and the intention to encourage the body to let go and encourage the flow through the front line of the body. Keep breathing. Joints soft, open to flow. And next time you go back, you're going to keep the weight back, iron the front of the body down. So it's like you're ironing out any wrinkles. You bring your hands down until they rest just above the knee. Press down a little bit and stretch the back line of the body. So you're pressing a little bit on the top of the thigh. You keep the knee a little bit bent, back open. So you're stretching that whole line. And then lift the toe. If you can hold the toe, hold the toe. Otherwise, stabilize the body on the shin. Stretch a little bit more. Keep the front of the body open. And stand up. Bow and arrow on the other side. See if you can get yourself back there again. And then moving the weight from foot to foot. Hips tidy. Yeah, don't slew the hips around. Remember, you're trying to maintain flow within your body system. So you don't want to kind of waste flow. No leaky pipes. And again, you can slow that down, like we did in the first exercise, until the movement's hardly visible. But you keep the feeling of the flow. And you can do micro movements. Keep your 5 points. See how smoothly you can make the flow of intention from foot to foot. And then let it be a little bit more obvious again. So first thing we do is we make the body available to flow. So that means relax and open. Then we use the intention to move the flow through the body. So that's a little bit like using water to kind of clean out a system. So we up the flow a little bit to kind of clean out the channels, if you like. And then when you're ready, forward up, back and down. Really focusing on the front of the body, relaxing and opening. You're using the movement and the intention to try and open the front of the body down, improve the flow down the front of the body. Remember your 5 points. How smooth can you make the flow? Next time you go back, follow the movement down, ironing the front of the body, hand just above the knee, and repeat. Stretching the hamstring, stretching the whole back line of the body, top of the head, all the way down to the sole of the foot. And lift the toe. If you can hold the toe, hold the toe. Otherwise, stabilize the body on the shin. Stretch a little bit more. And stand up. Well done. Give the legs a little shake. So we're now going to do an exercise to open particularly the back of the body. We primed it ready. Now we're going to open the back of the body, feet back into bow and arrow posture. So I'll give you a reminder, feet shoulder width. You're on your railway tracks. You turn one foot out 45 degrees, 30 to 40 degrees. You step the other foot directly forward and you make sure you can move the weight happily from foot to foot without spilling any of the flow. So relax back in the back leg. And we're going to imagine that you're holding a bar. So it's a little bit like one of those old wells, old-fashioned wells, where you move the handle and you slowly wind up the bucket. So this exercise is called drawing water from the well. So hands about ready level with the dantian to start. So lower belly area just above the dantian. And you're going to push up and forward and stretch, keeping both feet on the ground. You're stretching the back of the body. Down, back. So imagine the bucket's very heavy. So you have to use quite a lot of effort. So you're pushing the weight forward into the hands, down, and then weight into the back leg. Pull. So really feel the back line rolling. I'm going to turn sideways again. So you're using the dantian. You're rolling up the spine this time. So as you bring your hands back and up, it's like a rolling pin up the front of the body that's rolling the back of the spine. So you're up the back, stretch forward. And now feel the ripple up the back of the body. Keep breathing. Keep your feet on the ground. Remember, don't let the fluid spill in your legs. So you're keeping your hips nice and tidy. Keep going. Hands soft fists. So feel the stretch all the way up the back line. And notice where in the back of the body do you block? Is there anywhere in the back of the spine that's holding or tight? See if you can keep the movement going, change the feet. Same thing on the other leg. Feeling up at the back of the body, the flow or movement up the spine. Where in the back do you block or hold against flow? Can you let the sap rise? One more time. And then draw the hands back to the dantian. And stand with the feet shoulder width. Feel any change in the body. And as you breathe in, I want you to feel as if something moves up the back of the body. So you breathe in, you follow up the back of the body, up the back of the spine, over the top of the head, breathe out, down the front. Tongue on the palate behind the teeth. And then between the legs. Breathing in, up the back. Breathing out, down the front. And again, you can use little movements to help encourage the feeling of flow. Five points of focus for your posture, encouraging this flow through what we call the microcosmic orbit. It's up the channel at the back, we call Du. Down the front of the body, we call Ren. We're following an energy circuit through the body. Notice where do you feel the flow gets a little bit inhibited. Is there anything you can do to ungrip in those areas where you feel limit? If you do, and then slowly coming out of that guidance of Qi exercise, we'll do the first movement of the form. So people who practice Tai Chi will be very familiar with this movement. Pretty well every form starts with some version of it. So the feet are shoulder width. You're going to press out of the ground, the hands floating up in front of you. And sink down, palms stroking the air down. And see if you can kind of feel where the flow is happening in this movement. See if you can get out of the way in the natural movement of flow. Tongue on the palate behind the teeth. And one more time. And breathing in, arms up the side of the body, whole body breathe in, whole body breathe out. And just stroking all the tissues of the body, relaxed and soft and open. We can do that 3 times. Breathing in, whole body breathe in. Whole body breathe out. Everything relaxed and open. And last time, breathing in. Breathe out, relax. Hands on the dantian. And see if you feel more open to flow. Brilliant. So that's our half hour. Thank you very much for coming. Hope to see you next week.